Okay, so what we have here is a 14-inch wide, 20-inch long slab of maple that I'm preparing to turn into butcher blocks. Now, the first thing I want to show you, this is an absolute lifesaver. Get yourself a piece of ABS plastic tubing. Now, this is 2.5 inch. Screw it down to a set of 2x4s. You have to get the board high enough up off the surface so that you can actually work with these things, or you'll get halfway through your first glue up and they'll be in the trash can. They're very frustrating to work with. So basically what you do is, let's just see how I can do this better here. I think if I mount it on the end, you can see it better. Okay, I also put tuck tape on the bottom of these things because, as you can see, when you're gluing up panels, you get a lot of glue on the work surface and it's going to make a tremendous mess. So you start off by putting the clamps into these pieces, and you have to make sure that you get them equal so that if this is in the third notch on the top, then it's on the third notch on the bottom. Now you're going to see why we have to have it up on these pieces of ABS plastic. The clamp goes like this, and you have to make sure when you line them up that they're equal. Then you take this part of the clamp, and this is where it gets really fussy. Yeah, again, it has to go into the same hole on the bottom. So if you're in hole number 1 on the bottom, you have to be in hole number 2 on the top, sorry, hole number 1 on the top. But then you have to mess with it to kind of get it to go in. And when you finally get this thing mounted, and this is part of the frustration because, as you can see, it needs quite a bit of finagling just to get the thing to move properly. Once you finally get it in, so again, if it's in the 4th hole on the top, it's got to be on the 4th hole on the bottom. And in this case, it's on the 3rd hole here, so it's on the 3rd hole here. And you can see why it has to be up off the bench. Then what you do is you make sure that these things are contacting the board, and you gently crank in the screw. And what it's doing is it's drawing these two pieces together, which is drawing the clamps together to keep all these boards in line. And it does actually work. It would be better if it had a coarser thread so you could put more torque on it. But basically that's how you do it. And you'll know you're doing good if you can run your finger across and you can feel very small or no ridges. And on a 5-foot long piece of maple, you're going to get some deviations. So this is how it's set up. Now, again, if you don't use these pipes, it's going to drive you crazy and you're going to throw the thing out. But basically what you have to do is you have to put the first set of clamps here, then you put your first pipe clamp beside it, then you undo this, you move it over about 6 or 8 inches past your first pipe clamp, put it on again, put the other pipe clamp on, and keep working your way down the board, because you can do this with only one of these clamps, or you could splurge and you could have, say, 3 on a panel this long. But the problem with these things is that they're $65 Canadian. That's a lot of money for a clamp that until you get really used to it, you're not sure you want to keep it. So the clamp does seem to work fairly well. I don't think I'm going to send it back. I've clamped up quite a few and I can actually see it pulling the boards together, which is going to save me a lot of time and effort when it comes to planing and sanding. But like I say, the instruction sheet is absolute garbage. And a lot of the people in the reviews I'm reading on Amazon, they say that they're on the verge of sending these things back. But if you take a little time and you sort of get used to it, and once you figure out the tricks like putting both of these onto the same piece of wood, making sure the wood is the right thickness, putting it up on the ABS plumbing pipe to get it some clearance underneath, they do seem to work okay. I still think there's a better solution out there. I just haven't found it yet. But I do see that Rockler in the States sells a very similar clamp. It looks identical, but it doesn't come with the plastic pieces. You have to make your own out of hardwood, and they're selling theirs for $19.99 US. But unfortunately, Rockler won't ship to Canada. So if you're in Canada or somewhere else, you're stuck with the ones that you're going to buy off Amazon. But like I say, this part here with the screw on it appears to be the exact same manufacturer. So you're going to have exactly the same issues with the ones from Rockler that you're going to have with these ones. And if you play with them a little bit, you might just be happy with them, but the jury's still out as to how long I'm going to actually use these things. So that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and the subscribe button so we can keep in touch. And I'll post more reviews as I get products going. And we'll take a walk around the shop and take a look at some more tools and some more ways of doing things.